Assalamualaikum, viewers. This is Said Khan, the students of Rehan College, and today I have a new topic, and that is how to master the art of negotiation in daily life. So I want to discuss this topic with Maya, and let's go towards Maya. How are you, Maya?
I'm doing great. And look at
So,
that. Mass
Maya, today I would like to discuss how to master the art of negotiation in daily life. Are you ready for that?
I'm so ready.
Okay,
Negotiation is everywhere.
so first of all, what is negotiation? Because there is in this topic there is one terminology is used, and that is negotiation. So please tell me what is negotiation.
At its simplest, negotiation is just a conversation with a goal. It's what happens when two or more people have different needs or ideas, but they want to find a way to move forward that works for everyone. Whether you're debating which movie to watch with a friend or trying to get a better deal on a new car, you're negotiating. It's basically the art of finding common ground so everyone walks away feeling like they got a win.
Okay, so the next question that I'm going to ask from you is that do we are really negotiate in our daily lives?
Oh, absolutely. We're basically negotiating from the moment we wake up until we hit the pillow. It's not just the big things like a salary bump or buying a house, it's the tiny, everyday stuff. If you've ever tried to convince your friend to eat at a different restaurant or bargain for an extra 15 minutes of sleep, you're in the middle of a negotiation. Most of us don't even realize we're doing it because it's so natural, but almost every interaction where two people want different things is a negotiation in disguise.
Okay, Maya, so you said that negotiation is a skill. So why is negotiation an important skill?
Because it's essentially the engine that drives our relationships. Think about it. If you can't negotiate, you're either the one always giving in, which leads to burnout, or you're the one always demanding your way, which just pushes people away. When you're actually good at it, you're not winning a fight, you're solving a problem. It's the difference between a tense argument and a solution where both people actually feel respected. It turns potential conflict into a collaboration. Does that make sense?
Okay, so my next question is negotiation only important for business people?
Not even close. Only business people needed it. The rest of us would just be agreeing to everything forever, which sounds like a nightmare. It's honestly just a tool for getting your needs met without starting a war in the process. Plus, it's huge for things like setting boundaries with family or just deciding who has to take out the trash.
Okay, so my the next question that I'm going to ask you, and that is an important question. So, what is the first thing we should do before starting a negotiation?
The most important thing is to know your why. Before you even say a word, you have to be crystal clear on what you actually want and, more importantly, what you're willing to walk away from. If you don't have a baseline, you're basically just guessing. And that's usually how people end up agreeing to things they actually hate.
Okay, so my the next question that I'm going to ask from you is why is listening important in negotiation?
Because listening is where all the real leverage is. If you're just waiting for your turn to speak, you're missing the clues. When you actually listen, you start to hear what the other person needs, which isn't always what they're asking for. Once you know their real why, it's so much easier to find a solution that makes them happy but still gives you exactly what you wanted.
Okay, so should we always try to get what we want?
Not necessarily. If you only push for what you want, it's just a demand. The real magic happens when you pivot to we want. It's about finding that sweet spot where their needs and your goals overlap. That's how you get the kind of win where the other person actually walks away happy to have worked with you.
So, what does compromise mean?
In a negotiation, a compromise is that middle ground where both sides give up a little bit of what they want to reach an agreement. It's the classic, I'll give you this if you give me that trade. But honestly,
So,
there's something even better than compromise, and it's called collaboration. Instead of just splitting the difference, you're looking for a creative solution that gives both people exactly what they need without anyone having to lose out. It's more work, but it's how you get those real win wins.
okay, so can you give me a simple example of negotiation related to the current situation of the world?
That's a tricky one because global news is usually a mess of high tension and zero trust. But let's look at something a bit more grounded, like the global fight for sustainable energy. Think about the current negotiations between developed countries who have the money and the tech, and developing nations who need the funding
Like
to
which
grow
country?
without. One good example is the COP climate summits, like when the US and the EU negotiate with countries like Brazil or India. Brazil has this massive amount of the Amazon rainforest, which the whole world needs for the planet's health, but they also want to grow their economy. So the negotiation is basically we'll give you financial support and tech to protect the forest if you commit to keeping it standing. It's a classic case of two different needs coming together to find a path forward.
Alright, so what if the other person refuses my offer?
First, just pause and don't panic. A refusal isn't a wall, it's just a sign that you haven't found the right hook yet. Instead of pushing harder, which usually just makes people dig their heels in, ask a curious question like, I hear you. What would make this work for you? This puts the ball in their court to tell you exactly how to win them over, which is way more effective than guessing.
It is important to stay calm during negotiation.
It's everything. The second you lose your cool, you lose your leverage. When emotions take the driver's seat, you stop thinking strategically and start reacting. Staying calm isn't just about being polite, it's a power move because it keeps you in control of the room while the other person is the one feeling the heat.
Okay, so the next question is that how can body language affect negotiation?
Body language is basically a second conversation happening right under the surface. It's all about projection. If you're fidgeting or avoiding eye contact, you're signaling that you're not confident in your position before you even open your mouth. But if you have a relaxed posture and a steady gaze, you're projecting that you're comfortable with the deal and, more importantly, that you're comfortable walking away from it. That quiet confidence can actually make the other person more flexible because you don't seem desperate.
Yeah, so my the next question that I'm going to ask from you is that there is a negotiators. So, what is the most important quality of a good negotiator?
Empathy, hands down, not because you have to agree with them, but because you have to actually understand them. And if you can see the world through their lens, you can stop guessing and start finding the specific bridge that gets them to say yes. It's what turns a tug of war into a real conversation.
Yeah, so
It really
I'm going to ask the last question, and after that we will go to the end. So the final question is that what is the most important lesson about mastering negotiation?
the biggest takeaway.
We say that we want to discuss the important topic, and that is how to master the art of negotiation in daily life. So the final question is that what is the most important lesson about mastering negotiation?
The biggest lesson is that negotiation isn't a battle to be won, it's a bridge to be built. When you stop trying to defeat the other person and start trying to solve a problem with them, everything changes. That shift in mindset turns a tense confrontation into a collaboration. And that's when you get the best results. That was a great session. I hope your viewers get a ton of value out of it.
So thank you, Maya. This is a very, very useful discussion, and you share an insightful conversation with the viewers. So I'm also thankful to the viewers who are seeing this video. And at last, one request. I have one request, and that is please share the video. Please like the video, and must share your opinion on this topic, on this conversation in the comment section. Thank you, all of you. If God willing, we will meet again in the next video with a new topic.
My pleasure.